Hey everyone, thank you for joining me today on Retro Geek Gaming, where I'd like to talk about things that are retro, things that are geek, and things that are gaming related. And today we're going to talk about some additional gaming stuff like I always do. So you already know from the topic what we're going to do, what we're going to talk about, so let's go ahead and jump right into it. And I got it pulled up right here, which you can clearly see that we're talking about our Nintendo Directs over. This is something that I've been thinking about also throughout the last couple of months because, hey, we had the E3, um, Summer Games Fest, whatever you want to call it, the E3 season where we had a bunch of announcements come out, right? Um, and then we have this article right here that just says, hey, are Nintendo Directs over? Because they supposedly have no new Nintendo Directs planned for the near future, which could spell the end of Directs entirely. Now, I don't know how true this is because they might have something planned in September, so this could really just be a fluff piece. But, you know, they didn't hold a Nintendo June Direct due to the fact that there wasn't an E3, right? And we really didn't get very much out. I mean, we got a lot out of them. We got Xenoblade Chronicles 3 announced. We had the Bayonetta 3 release date announced. We had an indie, not really an indie, a third partner showcase from games. And really, this seems to be working for Nintendo. So are directs over? Well, if you had to ask me, I think they are. And, I mean, maybe it's nice to have one at the end of the year, say maybe September, October, just to kind of show, hey, look, here's what you can expect from us in 2023. Here's what you can expect from us in the next year if that continues. But I wouldn't be surprised if we are at the end of Nintendo Directs. And the reason why is because when Nintendo Direct started, we had E3. We had this big gaming event every single year that everybody went to. Nintendo decided, nah, you know, we don't do so good with the live shows. We're going to do our own thing and just air it during E3. But now that we're getting like the Sony State of Plays and we're getting, you know, these other companies that they just sort of they do their own direct like presentations. What's Nintendo doing? They're taking the news directly to Twitter. They're taking it directly to social media where it can have all the attention it deserves. Because think about it. And this is the reason why I think it's kind of genius and why we might not get any more Nintendo Directs. Is because let's suppose you do like what they did with Xenoblade 3, with Splatoon 3, and they come out with a 15, 20-minute Nintendo Direct specifically dedicated to Splatoon 3, and that shows up on Twitter. That whole news cycle is about Splatoon 3. That game gets all the attention that Nintendo wants it to get. Whereas if they just threw it into a direct and they showed off Bayonetta 3 and Splatoon 3 and Xenoblade 3 and Alive Alive, and they showed off games coming in 2023, and they also showed us some new Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild footage, and you know, they showed off all these games. They showed off 15, 20 something games. Which one of those games is going to get all the attention? Maybe none of them. Maybe just Zelda. And just like Nintendo used the Nintendo Directs to control the narrative and basically say, look, we're not going to do a live event because stuff can go wrong and we can control what happens in the direct. We can control the editing. We can control, you know, if somebody stumbles on their words during the presentation, we can edit that out and have it be like this perfect streamlined presentation. But now everybody does that. It's easier now to control what game gets all the attention by putting it on Twitter, by putting it on a YouTube post, by putting it on Facebook or whatever social media they decide to use. They control the narrative for that game. And that's the reason why I think we might not get any more directs. Now, I could be wrong, and you're welcome to put your thoughts down in the comments down below about why you think that we're still going to get Nintendo Direct, because I love Nintendo Directs. I love them. I've always enjoyed them just to know what we're getting. Even if it's something like one Nintendo Direct where we saw like Assassin's Creed games from the PS3, and we saw Portal 1 and 2 and all these old games coming over to the Switch. And it wasn't my cup of tea. It wasn't for me. I still at least appreciated the fact of, hey, Nintendo, thank you for keeping us updated, knowing what games are coming out. Because let's face it, during the Wii and the Wii U era, especially the Wii U era, you did not say what was coming out a whole lot. We sort of just had to kind of deal with whatever we got. And sometimes it would be 6 months, sometimes it would be longer until we got a new Nintendo game on the Wii U. So the fact that you're at least saying, hey, look, these games are coming, even if they are older third-party games, even if they are, 6, 7 months out, thank you for at least letting us know these games are coming. But so I would love to see a Nintendo Direct, but again, I think that they want to control the narrative a lot more about what game gets attention. So it's easier to drip feed this stuff and say, hey, look, here's a post about the latest Mario Kart 8 DLC tracks. And that gets all the attention, and that gets all the focus from people and from gamers who are interested in that. And for those that aren't interested in it, they just move right on past it. And that to me is a better experience, only because if I had to think about it, do I really want to sit down and watch a 45-minute presentation from, let's say, Sony? Let's say I sit down and watch a State of Play and it's 45 minutes long. Do I really want to sit down and watch a 45-minute video just to see maybe 2 or 3 games that I like? I would rather just you show me the trailers for those games, And so, while yes, I do want to see Nintendo Direct, I just had to kind of think of just imagine, for an example, if they took all that, they took the Bayonetta news, they took the third-party partner news, and they took the Xenoblade Chronicles news, and they wrapped all that up into one big, let's say, hour-long video, and all you cared about was Xenoblade 3. You didn't care about the Bayonetta news, you didn't care about, any of the other stuff. You just wanted to see the 20 minutes of Bayonetta footage. Not Bayonetta, of Xenoblade footage. Or Bayonetta, whatever. And that's all you wanted to see. Would you really want to waste your time watching an hour-long video just to see 20 minutes of Xenoblade 3 footage? I wouldn't. I would be appreciative of the fact of, hey, this is a Xenoblade Direct. Watch it if you're interested. If you're not, don't waste your time. Just like you do with the Pokemon Directs. I don't watch the Pokemon Directs. I have no interest in Pokemon. I haven't had an interest in Pokemon since Gen 1. So, talk about it. I'm not going to watch it. But for those that are interested, they have a video that is nothing but stuff that they love. Instead of that being mixed in with a bunch of third-party games that maybe they don't care about. You see what I'm saying? So I think that in some ways it's better. But I'm going to go ahead and stop this video right now before I start to ramble too much. What do you guys think? Do you think that this is going to be the future going forward for Nintendo? That we're at the end of Directs and they're just going to start to sort of just shadow drop this stuff on there, just announce it maybe a day or two before and say, look, here's some information about the next DLC, or here's the next NSO expansion or something. Or do you think that we are going to get more Nintendo Directs? Because I think that it's a mixture of both, actually. Because I think that for the important stuff, like NSO stuff, they might want to drop that in a big Direct. But look at what happened last time. Last time we got, expansion news, and it came at the end of an Animal Crossing video about how they're going to do DLC and stuff like that. But if you were watching just the Animal Crossing DLC, then you could have just stopped it right there and been fine. But, that's just me. I think that they will still do some major stuff, but I mean, maybe they'll do a Direct for hardware, to show off something that, new and capable like that, but they might not. They might just throw that in the news also. But yeah, I think that we're kind of done with Directs, but, if you don't think we are, that's fine, because I'm kind of with you also. I kind of don't want it to end. They're really nice. It's been a fun experience, but maybe we are. Who knows? But that's going to be my time for now, guys. I hope that you go and have yourself a great rest of your day, and I will see you next time.